would be prosecuted because of this. Our next speaker is Mrs. Jaleh Tabrizi, and she is director of ARC, Human Rights Organization, Association of Human Rights for Azerbaijan, and she is going to talk about the crucial situation of Uremia Lake and the villagers around this lake. Thank you so much. Greetings to all, and thank you, and thanks the World Citizens Association to give us the opportunity to talk about the human rights issues here. I would like to, I have used this opportunity many times to warn about the dangers of drying of the Uremia Lake. Non-organized economy, wrong agricultural politics, and lack of a policy to obtain the environment, and lack of attention to sustainable development has caused the rivers, lakes, and so on to dry out. The destruction of water sources, especially the big lakes, especially the lakes which are inside the country, is a crucial threat to the villages and agriculture, which have the important role in sustaining the agricultural activities, like controlling the flood and being and natural resources, and keeping the natural resources and developing the quality of water resources. But among these, the main natural disaster which has happened in the recent years in Iran is that the Uremia Lake has the second saltiest lake in the world has dried. This lake is placed between the provinces of eastern and western Azerbaijan, and there are many cities and villages around it. The consequences of this happening is that the salt, the amount of salt has developed in the region, and there are now fast and warm winds which include salt, and which is going to destroy all the agriculture fields and make them a desert, which will destroy the lives of millions of people. I should mention that there are more than 36 cities and 3,150 villages with a population of more than 5 million 5 million people is placed around this lake, and more than 60% of this population live in villages, and their life is made out of agriculture. The destruction of this lake has made the northwestern region of the country face a crisis of salt storms, which has made the very qualified fields, agricultural fields of Uremia, Tabriz, Maragha, and Miandoab and Mahabad to become deserts, and agriculture has been damaged very much. and this is because of the wrong policies of the government, which is like making 40 dams on the rivers, and also traditional agriculture, which play a major role in destroying this lake. The government has not been able to reform the agriculture in this region. According to the villagers of Bakshluchai, they say lack of water has destroyed the whole of our life. Our land have been confiscated, and there are houses built in it, and they want us not to farm in this region. We have no job, we have no income, but they still sell us the water more expensive. All our fields are dry now, and you can see salt on the leaves of the trees. And they say the water is so salty that you cannot drink it. And we go to the city and bring water from city, and that when we have a car. The situation of the lake has made all of us ill, and we suffer from asthma and infections in the eye, and high blood pressure and skin diseases have been reported in Kordlar, Babjanlu and Akgombat villages. They say if you just wander for some minutes in this place, you can see that you have a dry mouth. The destruction of the lake and the agriculture has caused the villagers to go to many crimes like drug dealing. Right now there are almost 40 people in prison because of these crimes, and all of them because of unemployment. Our job has been destroyed. All of us are under pressure. The authorities shouldn't put us in front of two options. They have to do something that we wouldn't have to choose between our lives and the lake, because the income is clear and it is not in the benefit of the lake. This situation is in a way that the authorities they view to the lake is financial. To save the lake, you cannot ignore the farmers. You should make them new ways of agriculture or new jobs. We see a human crisis now in this, which affects the lives of the villagers. To impose every policy, you cannot ignore the people who are living there. In fact, those who live around this lake have been damaged the most in these years. And having to immigrate has been something public in the villages, and many villages are out of population. The situation of the lake is getting more critical every day, and the authorities have done nothing, have done no effective thing to save the lake. And if they go on like this, the lives of 14 million people in the northwest of Iran are in danger, and they are being threatened by many illnesses, diseases. I mentioned that during the past years, people's demands about saving the lake was so much that it was one of the slogans of Rouhani's presidential elections campaign. Mr. Rouhani promised it, but he forgot it very soon, and he didn't keep his promises. Mohsen Hosseini Qomi, the deputy of the Environment Organization of East Azerbaijan province, said, in the past years, because of not having enough budget to save the Uremia lake, many plans were just left, and the others are just going to be stopped. In fact, right now, there are the total of 173 plans to save the lake, but because of lack of financial resources, none of these projects have been completed. He continued, this policy has made the projects to reduce use of water in agriculture not to be imposed on time. He said he stated that the cities around the lake, including Tabriz, will be damaged the most, and continued, regarding the lake situation, if we classify the places who are at risk, Tabriz is going to be damaged the most because of the winds. He also mentioned that there have been no effective plan to control this wind. He said that when the lake gets dry, then there is dust coming from with the wind, and this puts negative influence on the people, and it makes new diseases in the region, and it also changes the environment and kills many animals and planets in the region. I should mention that last year from the budget of 800 billion tomans, just 300 billion tomans was provided. This was also, this was also the case in the year before, and in the past 2 years only 36% of the budget, of the needed budget, was provided. Mr. Kahrom said in an interview with Asr Iran, the budget of the Environment Organization was eliminated in 2015 and not completed in 2016 and not completed in 2015. Isa Kalantari said that since 1 year ago there has been no budget provided for the lake, and this has worried the people, he said, we can do nothing like this, and because there is no budget, this lake is not going to be saved. Muhammad Ali Hamedi, the responsible for the committee, for the environment committee of the power ministry, said that building so many dams was wrong on the rivers was wrong. We save so much money on behind the dams, and we don't need them really. And till so far, the civil protests of the people against drying of the Uremia lake was suppressed by the Iranian government, and tens of civil and environment activists were arrested, prosecuted, and imprisoned. The Islamic Republic of Iran has known these activists a danger to its national security and imprisoned them for long terms. In July 2017, the civil activists made a human chain around the lake to protest against the death of the lake, and they were suppressed by the security forces. The last word is that the government should change the traditional agriculture to an up-to-date agriculture to manage the water sources and make sure that the lake gets its needed water to save it. They need also to attract the cooperation of the farmers. Sustainable agriculture and new watering system can reduce the use of water up to 80%. The sustainable agriculture must be exercised in 41 villages around the Uremia lake as soon as possible.